Today's discussion topic looks at a different mindset in regards to the Digimon card game. Commonly, you will hear the phrase, "Don't buy the pre-sales" when it comes to a new set release in Digimon. The logic behind this is that when a new set drops, everyone is opening a lot of the new set. So much so that the supply overtakes the demand. As a result, because individuals are not buying the cards at certain prices, this causes the market value of the cards to drop drastically. But with BT16, there have been a lot of mixed opinions on whether buying the pre-sales for certain individual cards may have been more worthwhile than waiting. And the big question, what happened? Take BT16 Paildramon for instance. This card was listed during the pre-sales at $9.99, but as of the writing of this video on Sunday, the market currently shows that the card is almost double that price at $18. Again, this could have changed based on the graphic that is currently shown on screen, as I do not clip anything until the day of editing. Another example, Magnamon X was listed on pre-sales at $70, with it spiking as high as $75 last week before tumbling down to a price of $65 after Play TCG's regional event. But from a typical set, you normally see more drastic changes in regards to pricing. Sometimes, secret rares falling to $30 to $40 if not cheaper. Citing BT14 War Greymon from last year, this card had a pre-sale price tag of $30, but now sits around $4 to $5. So the big question, why did cards like Paildramon go up? The narrative of today's video is going to tell a story based on reports of what I have gathered from shop owners, and for the most part inferential elements to supplement the evidence. By the end of the video, whether you're a game shop owner, player, collector, seller, or buyer, you'll get an idea of where you want to go in future sets. The first thing I want to highlight is that when it comes to the Digimon card game, everything seems to be printed to order. Premium Bandai is a great reference to cite this statement for the fact that whenever a new Premium Bandai Digimon product is released, we don't get the product immediately. Instead, Bandai is getting a count of how much of the product to actually make. If a product hits a quote that it was looking for, say 1,000 orders, then the Premium Bandai order preemptively closes before the final date. Sometimes, Bandai will be kind enough to open the orders again and do a second wave. With this in mind, when stores are asked for how much product they want for an upcoming set, it's crucial that when you send this order that you do the research on the up-and-coming products before you buy it. I've had local game shops buy 3 to 4 cases of sets before, and then they were sitting on product for a long time. And unfortunately, I'm suspecting that stores didn't do their due diligence when it came to ordering in advance for sets like RB1, EX5, and BT15. In regards to RB1, this set was largely viewed as a set with reprints that were honestly a little late to the party. At this point, we should have reprints up to BT11, but that's a different topic if you'd like me to discuss that as well in another video. EX5 saw marginal success due to the fact that this set was literally the set leading up to the week of Nationals, meaning players were scrambling for their copies of Anubismon, Leviamon, and more. But BT15 is the ultimate taboo set that to this day, I will argue is still the worst set to date. And with the restriction of Apocalypse to 1, this did save the format, but ultimately came at a sacrifice of minimum product being opened. Because of this, you'll find a majority of SP rares still fairly high from BT15. Low supply will create a demand for them. And with stores taking on that burden of ordering well in advance and not having too many sales, there's also the fact that some stores may have seen the projected sales of Digimon in Japan and noted that its numbers had dropped. One quick little segue here is that while Digimon did not sell as hot as Yu-Gi-Oh!, Magic the Gathering, Lorcana, or even One Piece, you have to put it into perspective that it's Digimon. The franchise has nowhere near the fanbase as One Piece, for example, whose story still continues today. So when content creators make the statement that Digimon is dying, this doesn't give stores an outlook to buy product. So with BT16, what exactly happened? Here's what I think happened. Stores all across North America saw a significant decrease in sales in regards to Digimon. As a result, they decided to order less than they normally do. Even the stores that I normally order from probably only got 3 to 4 cases of BT16 when they would normally order close to 20. Their pre-orders were extremely limited. So in a hypothetical scenario where 1,000 stores across North America would normally order 10 cases each for their events and their player base, some may have cut back on ordering thinking Digimon wasn't doing well. Some may have cut back on ordering, thinking Digimon wasn't doing too hot and only ordered 4 to 5 cases. which meant that when Bandai got the order to print for the next couple of months, instead of 10,000 cases, it was only 5,000 tops. Finally, when the set dropped, stores saw that the product was flying off the shelf. Demand was there, but the supply was not. With limited product and a lot of value with each box, this is ultimately why I suspect the box prices rose sharply. This hasn't happened with Digimon in a long time, considering the last time this happened was in the beginning of the game in 2021 with Special Booster 1.0 and 1.5. In discussions with several individuals who have connections to their local game stores and who have contact with their distributors, this set was heavily oversold. Meaning if you ordered late, you are hopeful that someone else would cancel their orders, or else you would probably receive nothing. And although some individuals have mentioned that there is a second wave coming, a lot of information I'm hearing right now is there isn't one. Remember, Bandai has a limited amount of printers to print their cards in-house, and with not just Digimon and One Piece, but Union Arena, Battle Spirits, Dragon Ball Masters, Fusion World, and Sandland, you can kind of see where once a set has been printed, that's probably it. And while I have given you what I believe is happening when it comes to the supply of cards in the Digimon card game, the next question, should you buy the pre-sales? My honest answer? 90% of the time, it's better to buy singles on the first day of general release. Because everybody is opening boxes and there will be an influx in demand. But should you choose to buy before or after this date? It's a complete toss-up and a gamble on your part. Me personally, I was wholeheartedly expecting cards to drop by at least 20%, so I was throwing 25% discounts and paildramons were selling for $8 to $10 a copy. Who knew they'd jump up briefly to $25 last week? One reason why I like to try and get cases open on the channel as quickly as possible is to inform you, my viewers, on pull rates and ratios in regards to the set. And you saw firsthand how difficult it was to open Rapidmons between my first two cases for BT16. Although this is a gambler's fallacy. The more boxes I open, the more I feel this gives approximate statistics on what a common super rare pull is and what is not. Rather than arbitrarily ordering 5 cases every set, or suddenly go from 10 cases to 3 cases due to poor sales from previous sets, I definitely suggest researching the up and coming sets and see how they are doing in Japan before making a decision. BT16 is arguably one of the hottest sets since BT9, and with a lot of fan favorites. Box prices on TCG Player currently suggest that there is still a low supply of boxes in the wild, and especially with how some players have been opening chase cards or Aldart Magnamons, these types of cards are what pay for the box itself. At this point in time, orders for everything up to Special Booster 2.0 have closed. My personal opinion here? BT17 is also going to be equally a banger, with new support cards that pretty much repeat BT12, unless there's a restriction list that negatively affects the cards like Apocalypse did for BT15. But with Special Booster 2.0 and 2.5, these are two sets that I would highly recommend stores over-order on. Because if you were there at the beginning with Special Boosters 1.0 and 1.5, the pull rates were a definite pain in the ass. Do you agree or disagree with my analysis in regards to what likely happens with Bandai and how cards are printed across their different card games? In regards to pre-sales, do you find yourself selectively buying certain cards? Cards that you know are going to be meta relevant like Paildramon, Magnamon X, Valkyriermon Ace, and Rapidmon X, but opt to pick up the rest at a later time, knowing full well that they'll drop under $1. Let me know your thoughts, because this was another fun topic to explore. In regards to the giveaway, I have fully decided at this point that I will be making the full deck cores available after EX6 drops. With so many releases, I'd like to get newer decks into players' hands. This is DIGI-PANDA, logging out.